Alright guys, so you get a little voiceover here because yours truly forgot to plug in the microphone. But today we're making homemade persimmon wine, and I have some persimmons that I saved in the freezer for almost a year now. I finally have the stuff ready to work on this wine. Here they are. They were frozen. I just pitted them. They've been defrosting overnight. Basically, I'm going to peel, seed, quarter them, and then we're going to mash them up and put them in that primary vessel there. So that's what we're about to do with these. There's about 3 pounds of persimmons there, and I got so many off my neighbor's tree. Thank you so much for that, because I'm still having fun. Hopefully I get to harvest some more this year. So you can see all the things here I'm using. I got all kinds of different ingredients and tools and things, but first we're going to start off with getting that fruit ready and into that vessel. Also, there's an acid blend that this calls for that I have not used. I don't have it. But today is fruit, water, half of the sugar, which will be 1 1/4 pound, the yeast, which is wine yeast, a Camden tablet, and that primary vessel. So here you can see those little frozen mushy persimmons. I'm going to get ready to get them into the primary vessel there. They have the core, and I'm just trying to peel them. It actually worked out pretty well that they were frozen because the peels came off quite nice. And this kind of persimmon, you can actually eat the peel. This is the Fuyu, which is a sweet persimmon. It has a squash tomato shape, and it's orange to deep red. Its peel is edible, and you can eat it when it's firm or super mushy and sweet. The other persimmon, you have to wait until they are super mushy to eat, or they're way too tart. Alright, so now I've got all my persimmons in this fermentation crock, which thanks Mom for lending it to me. And I'm going to take that potato masher and get them mashed up really nice. That's just so they can start that ferment even more. They'll be floating in the sugar and the water, so we're just mashing them up real good with the potato masher. And the next part after that is going to be adding in some other ingredients. Alright, so you can see here I'm going to measure out that sugar, because for the whole recipe it calls for 2 1/2 pounds of sugar. So, but for the first ferment you only need half. So I'm just measuring out that 1 1/4 pound of sugar to add in there first. Measuring it out. And then we're also going to be adding in other ingredients. Let's see, I have the yeast and the Camden tablet. And the Camden tablet, what I do with that is crush it between a spoon and add it in. And I'll put on the screen here what that does. I keep forgetting to look it up. I forgot when I first recorded this, and I'm forgetting now what the Camden tablet does. But I'm adding the yeast, the sugar, and the Camden tablet into that mash. And we're going to stir that up. And then we will be adding in the water. And it is a gallon of filtered water that gets added. So yeah, you can see I'm adding in that water, stirring it all up. I really need to make sure that sugar gets good and dissolved, because then we want it to start doing its ferment. So real quick for you one more time here, those ingredients, I put in the Camden tablet and the wine yeast that we'll be adding. I added all those ingredients. It's gonna be left to rest and cover for half of the day. After about 12 hours, that's when we add in the pectic enzyme and the yeast. Those are those two ingredients I just showed you, the pectic enzyme and the yeast. After it's rested, we'll stir them in. And then it's going to sit and ferment for 5 to 7 days, keeping it covered, but stirring it daily. We are on day 2 of stirring this after I started it. My homemade persimmon wine ferment. Stirring it up. Oh, it's a bubbling, folks. Look at the bubbles. So cool. Alright, here we are, day 3 or 4, I don't know which. I started Sunday, it's Wednesday. I'm stirring it for 7 days before we put the airlock on. And it smells ripe. So let's see. Ooh. Don't see any bubbling, but all the fruit pulp is like on the surface. Let's see what happens when I give it a stir. Oh, there it is. Fermenting, my friend. So there we are. Put that lid back on. See you tomorrow. Alright, y'all. It is Thursday. Stirring it. So maybe up a little closer so you can see what it's looking like up in there. Very strong smelling. There we go. Alright, here we go for the Friday stir. Oh, it's definitely slowed. It's not as bubbly, but there's still a lot of bubbles. Maybe I'll do this tomorrow. Bottle it up. Still smells fermenty. It smells like more wine fermenty than it did before. I like it. Okay, so we're now on Saturday, so it's been about 6 days. I was going to do it at 5 days last night, but too much stuff was going on, so we didn't get to it. So we are going to strain out this pulp and get it going in the fermenter with the airlock here. So I gathered the fruit, the water, half of the sugar, the yeast, the Camden tablet, and the primary vessel, and it was all in here. I put the fruit in, mashed up the persimmons, then I added the acid blend, the yeast nutrient, the Camden tablet. Actually, I didn't add the acid blend. Scratch that. I left that part out. I didn't have it. And half the sugar. Then I added a gallon of water and I stirred it well to dissolve the sugar. And then I let it rest for half the day in this. And then after 12 hours, I added the pectic enzyme and the yeast. And then it's been fermenting for 5 to 7 days. I definitely saw it slow down on day 5. There was a lot less bubbles. So it's definitely ready to put into its secondary ferment and to get that mash or pulp or whatever its other name is out of there. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to strain the liquid and mix in the other half of the sugar and then put it in here with 3 inches of headroom and put the airlock on, and then it'll be sitting for a long time, about 3 to 4 weeks. And then I can rack and siphon it again and let it sit again. I might just let it keep sitting and only rack and siphon at the very end. We'll see. But right now, 3 to 4 weeks is what we need to get to, so we need to take care of all this. Now, because this is heavy and my strainers are really small, I might pour it into here first, then pour it into here, because this is really heavy. And I can be more concentrated with this one, and then pour it into here, and then stir in the sugar, then we'll get it into here, because it'll have a pour spout. I know that's a lot of craziness, but hopefully you can see what I'm saying. So first, I'm going to start by pouring this guy into here. And it probably all won't even fit because this is less than a gallon. Can you help me out? I'm going to hold this while I'm pouring so it doesn't fall. Hold on, let me get my stirrer so I can give it a little stir. Oh yeah, smells very fermenty. Alright, so we're going to pour carefully. This is definitely a crazy crock. Yep. I'm going to just pour it all into the bowl first so it doesn't splash my dear darling here. Who cares about the clumps and lumps? Because I don't want to make a mess.
Why can't you scoop it out of there?
I could scoop it. I'm trying to avoid... Let's see. Here we go. Let's just do that first. Oh boy. Is it going to fit in this bowl? Oh my god, Lily. That's real close to the edge. Oh my, look at all that funk in there. Wow.
You're gonna have to wipe it.
Oh my goodness. So I'm leaking. Let's take some of this out. Making a giant mess. Is it on the camera? My mess making? I'll zoom in for you all. I know. Well, Lily, next time, guess what? That's what I'm going to do. Or I'm going to get the right tools. Have a better pouring bucket. Have a bigger strainer. A lot of times, using the right tools makes things easier on you. When you try and use what you have, it's harder. Thanks for your help and your suggestions that I should have listened to. Alright, I need to find something to dump this pulp in. There's a lot of it in it. Can't get a bowl. Just try and get as much of this liquid out of here as I can. With that good wine. Spilled half of it, so that's fun. Alright, so let's get this out of here so we can scoop some more. So, that one's full. Now let's do this one. Let's see if I can. Closer to my mess so you can see what I'm doing. Here's the one that's strained. Straining out some more. So pulpy. Giant mess making continues. Alright, so I still have some of this to strain. These two are full. They need to get put back in here to mix with the rest of the sugar and then put in here. So I'm just going to This guy's another straining. It's all in here. I'm gonna rinse this so I can use it to stir in the sugar. And we're gonna stir in our other 1.5 pounds of sugar. A lot of sugar. And I feel like there's something else I'm supposed to be adding here. Then we're gonna put it into the secondary container with 3 inches of headroom. So this guy is going into next after I get that sugar all stirred in. Which I'm gonna clean out my white bowl again, pour it into there so we have less spillage. And I need to get a funnel. Stir it really good because I really want that sugar dissolved. Because when I pour it out of here, if it's not dissolved, it'll be like sludge and staying in there. So, let that go, keep stirring itself, and go rinse out this guy. So I've stirred it, hopefully all the sugar's dissolved. I'm gonna pour it back into this white bowl because it doesn't pour out of this crock well. And I'm gonna get a funnel for this guy. Ooh, it's nice and bubbly.
I got you a treat.
Cool. Tell me about it in a minute. How much more mess can Ashton make?
Saints and hands.
For this part.
Here, hold the funnel.
It smells like yeast.
Well, it should. It's pretty yeasty. All right, I need 3 inches of headspace, so
I think this is about 3. This is about. I think you got maybe a little more. That's about good.
that's good.
That's 3 or 4 inches, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna put our airlock on.
Phew.
And clean up some of this mess we got going on around here.
Could I go on?
All right, so got the big jug and then this jar. The other bit, and I gotta get my other airlock piece I have for him. Then we transfer it to the secondary containers with 3 inches of headroom at least, and put on the airlocks. And then it's gonna be here for 3 to 4 weeks. So that will be, let's see, today is August 24th. So what's 4 weeks from August 24th? Getting my math helper. 21st of September. That. This wine has been sitting, I think, since about August 21st. It says 9/21, that would have been a month. That would have been when I should have first re-racked it. Now we're at about October 9th, so I'm like a month and some change. But I am going to re-rack it basically. I'm going to start with this one and pour it in here, and then fill with this one, and clean this one. Because I don't have a whole nother bottle of this to like pour it into a big enough vessel. So we're gonna do like one of those games on the phone where you like move the liquid and such. And I am going to put some to taste and to test the alcohol level with this tool here, which is a gravity testing hydrometer. Triple scale, test jar, cleansing brush, cleaning cloth. I got this on Amazon, so I'll link it. So we're gonna, this is already cleaned, so we're gonna empty it in here first. Then we're gonna clean this jar so we can empty the rest of this into both of them. And then whatever's left will go in here for us to get ready to test, or into the testing jar that it has here. So, last time when I did this, I did not gravity feed it enough. So I'm gonna back you all up so you can see what the heck I'm doing. And we're gonna get this on the ground and get this into here first. So that's first things first. So this thing is gonna keep the sediment from coming out, and then this should, so I don't have to like suck siphon, it should pull it through. This is my second time doing this, but I'm hoping it'll work this time. Wow. This guy has some bugs floating in it. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. But that's why we use this. Keep the bugs and things out. Alright. So, this will go in here. I don't want it to go all the way down because I don't want to disturb the... Just keep pumping. Oh, it's working. It worked. Alright, doesn't look like I'm getting any more out of this one. So, there it is, the wine. So next up, we're gonna put it in the next one. But I think I'm gonna clean this one first, so once I get it flowing, I can just switch it up. So let me go clean this out. Dump it. There we go. Gonna pinch off the hose when it gets as full as I want it. Let's try that. There we go. Alright, so I got the 2 jars and a little bit extra, which I had a feeling. There's my one we're going to measure and taste right now. And then here are the 2. These 2 are going to get the airlocks put back on. Okay, y'all, so I re-racked the wine. It'll ferment a little bit more, I think. I don't know how bubbly it'll get. But these are reset, ready to go, and then I have my other carbine or whatever thing ready to get the elderberry wine going in. I'm going to get that video started next. But this little bit we're going to taste today, and I'm going to put in my hydrometer here, which I've never used. Y'all can come along for the ride. Here's the cleaning brush. Here's the tube. And then here's the actual little, it's like a thermometer kind of, oh, this stuff's flying up. I don't know what that guy's for. It's kind of like a thermometer, like a glass. It kind of measures how it floats. So, I don't know if that'll be enough. Alright, so put it in the sample at eye level. Look to see where the liquid crosses the markings. Probably should. Let's put more. Let's just fill it up, y'all. Let's see, here we go. So put it in, spin it around to get rid of any bubbles. Alright, it's in there. With the sample at eye level, look to see where the liquid crosses the markings and write down the reading. Well, it's like it's all the way up at the 0.99. Table wine, dessert wine. I don't think it's all the way down. So, like, it should be floating up. Because, oh, that has wine. Start, table wine, dessert wine. So it's still in that white range. I feel like it still needs more time to ferment. It's not really that alcoholic. I don't know if I should add more. It's gonna ferment more. It's sitting here, it'll ferment more. These guys are on. We'll test this bit out, we'll try how it tastes. But from this looking, I don't think it's got alcohol in it, pretty much. I mean, it's 0.99. All right, let's do a little taste test because it's opened. Why not? It smells like wine. I don't know, man. All right, here we are for another wine update. These are my Persimmon wine that I started around the end of August, like August 26th. I re-racked them into these jars from the big jug on October 9th. So that was like, a little less than a month later. Then today is November 16th, and I was thinking about bottling it, but I really feel like I'm going to test the alcohol level, and if it gives me a certain reading, I might try and add some sugar and put it back in these jars to ferment a little bit more, because I feel like it's like stalled. I feel like it's done fermenting. I haven't really seen bubbles. We'll re-rack it, we'll get some of the crud off the bottom, and maybe add a little bit of sugar to see if it'll go. I did buy stabilizer because I was going to add sugar when I bottle it, but this will stop the ferment. But if I was reading, if your ferment has stalled, you can, one of the things is to add sugar. So I'm going to pour this into my blue pitcher over there, one of them, pour some in here to test it. See what the ABV content is, possibly add more sugar, and then pour it back in here with the airlock again and let it go again for a couple weeks, because I really wanted to test this on Thanksgiving. November 16th is today, so Thanksgiving's in like 2 weeks. So depending on the amount of fermentation still happening, or we'll just let it go farther and we'll do it for Christmas, or we'll taste it now on Thanksgiving. But I have this feeling it needs to ferment again. I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. This is don't follow this as a guide. Follow this as someone trying, and you should try it too, and you could probably do it better than me. So anyway, today the plan is I'm going to be pouring these, one at a time, because I don't have big enough vessels. I need to get like a food grade bucket for this. But anyway, we're going to pour one out, test the AVB, see if we're going to add some sugar or not, put it back in the airlock for a little bit more, instead of racking them into the bottles like I was going to do. Because it says here on my instructions, rack every month until the wine is ready to be bottled, or about 3 months. So August, September, October, November. Let me see how it tastes. If it tastes, I kind of want to just bottle it, put the sugar and the stop in it. Because October, November, August, September, October, November. That's like 3 months. Let's see. maybe I'll go crazy and not reactivate it and put the stabilizer in and bottle it. Let's see how it goes. Mad scientist, that's what I feel like right now. Here we go. So the first thing, I'm gonna siphon out of here into the blue pitcher. There we go. I can do this because I don't have the other reading. Put it in here, we're gonna like spin it out. Lovely. Okay, y'all, so this, like, that's why I'm confused about these numbers. It's like at the 0.99, which isn't even any alcohol. So, it means like, what happened? I did something wrong. I'm gonna taste it here, and then I'm cleaning out my other jar, and we're gonna add some more sugar and see if we can get it fermenting again. And maybe I should add more yeast too. Yeast and sugar. I'm gonna quick Google that and make sure. Why did I just pour a full glass of this? So I'm probably not gonna be drinking it. It smells like wine and like tartness. Oh. It's sweeter than I was expecting. But yeah, let's get this back in the jar and get a little more sugar and yeast in there. And then we'll taste this other one, which they're probably gonna be the same. Who am I kidding? So put more yeast in. And I'm gonna add a fourth more cup of sugar. That yeast you eat. And let's get something to stir that. I hope. Definitely muddied the waters, because look how clear this one looks. And look how this one has junk in it. Crazy. Sorry, so now I'm going to test this one out. Maybe this one, just add the sugar and the stabilizer and put it in the bottles and see. I'm going to let this go. I don't know how that goes. And yes, that to me appears like it has no alcohol in it either, because it's still the same, like, just add the sugar to this and the potassium sorbate and bottle it up. And scoop of you. I'm going to stir you up. Whoa. That's wild. It's like moving and doing things. And then the one I'm trying to restart a ferment and don't see any bubbles going yet. So, here's my persimmon wine fail. Maybe it's not a fail, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how this tastes after I chill it. If you're adding that sugar and the potassium sorbate, which is a additive that they use to kind of stop the fermentation. That's why when you add the sugar, you don't want to keep fermenting now because they're bottling it. So this should stop it. This one should be starting again, I hope, because I added more yeast and sugar and no potassium sorbate. So I'm gonna get all this cleaned up. We're gonna put these in the fridge. We're gonna put this over there and let it keep on brewing. Alright, y'all. So here we are. I'm gonna call this the end of my persimmon wine journey for now. It's the stuff that I bottled with the sugar and the stop fermenting agent has been sitting in my fridge for about a week. I've had a few people test it. They didn't love it. Nobody was slurping it down. Wasn't their favorite. It does taste alcoholic. Adding the sugar definitely helped. My dad said it smells like rubber. I mean, it doesn't taste bad. It's very sweet. But I'm not going to be making a hit of this at parties. As for the one I put in to start a re-ferment on, that's right here. You can see everything settle at the bottom. I haven't seen any bubble action going on. I don't know that it's doing anything besides wasting out yeast and sugar. I'm going to leave that, and maybe when I reopen it, I'll make a little short video about it. But we're just going to let it be, for another month. It's only been, a week and a half or so. So I'm going to leave that and see if it does anything. I don't think it will. Maybe some people will want to drink this. If not, it can go down the drain. Months of work. I don't know, guys. Maybe I'll try again. I don't know about with persimmons. I also think that fruit is an interesting one to try. Its flavor profile is very... I know, it's not like your strawberry or your peach. It's an interesting flavor profile, which also might be lending to why this final taste is kind of like, that's interesting. So it might not be me. It might be the persimmon. I don't know. Also, I'm going to take some classes on how to use that hydrometer right, so I can measure it right. I'm going to be very exacting. I have another winemaking elderberry one coming out. That also was kind of a smash up. Had a lot going on, so we'll see how it all turns out. We're gonna try again. This is how I learn things, people. So I hope you enjoyed watching this crazy ride. Use it for entertainment purposes, or at least learning what not to do when you want to try and make your own wine. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.